On AI-generated Tariff Liberation Day, the world, collapsed. President I alone can destroy it celebrated, backed by Commerce Secretary Lutnick, who insisted,
"Let Donald Trump run the global economy. He knows what he's doing."
Penguin Nation immediately admitted they had not been buying enough U.S. products. The rest of the world declared that trade wars are stupid and Trump is a doo-doo head.
The world needs us to have Greenland, including Denmark. Denmark has to have us have Greenland.
What's up with the nation's lurch to the right? Part 5. A little history, if that's still legal. The post-9/11 conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq soured Americans on foreign entanglements. And the fallout from the financial crisis of 2008 and the Obama bailouts made Democrats the party of the banks and the college-educated, opening the door for Republicans to appeal to the working classes. Free trade, open borders, and free markets had worked for Reagan, but that was another century. The nation/empire is in decline. Manufacturing will not return, and democracy will be shelved. Hopefully on a medium or lower shelf we can reach at some point if and when we de-elect the shelf guards. President They Hate Me Just Because I Hate Them has gutted the Minority Business Development Agency and the Emergency Council on Homelessness and revoked sovereignty assurances for 500 native tribes, saying that homeless minority natives had their chance to be white. Cuts at the IRS and VA means the IRS can't collect taxes from corporations and the VA can't provide health care for veterans. Any other progress we're making? Lots. USAID workers preparing to help earthquake victims in Burma received some help prioritizing their work. Layoff notices. The recovery effort on the ground was also plagued by a wave of strikes. Well, airstrikes. Hey, Junta's gonna hunt. The U.S. has also ended funding for the tracking of tens of thousands of Ukrainian children abducted by Russia, saying that boarding schools are free in Russia, and they will become civilized there. This much we have established. The government is run by a cheating realtor TV clown, an apartheid nostalgic fascist-friendly mogul, Fox News hosts, and a gaggle of ignorant, arrogant children. Sorry, teenagers with high IQ and low morals. Anyway, President Wrecking Ball and Co-President Chainsaw, along with VP You Are Being Disrespectful to My Personal Hitler, Mr. Don't Own a Suit, lead the charge, with a gang of thugs from the very far-right edge of the Heritage of White Supremacy Foundation crouching at OMB, FCC, SEC, and wherever border czars crouch. But because President Fooled Ya changes his mind all the time, contradicts himself, claims he was joking, or claims he's tricking and boxing in the adversary, you can never pin down what he actually believes, wants, or will do. A wink and a nod can be cut through, though, by realizing his goal: domination. But if you can't figure out what reality is, it looks like he alone can determine that. For instance, egg prices will fall, but the eggs will contain bird flu. The Prez will say, it's worth a little flu to rescue us from woke. Which brings us to translations. Woke means politically correct, which meant social justice, which meant, among other things, advance notice of hurricanes. Like so much of our slang, it is, of course, African American. Deep state means federal workers, aka wimptards and losers who don't understand strong presidents. Also, deep university, deep national parks, and deep DEI. You'd means I will. You'd have to clean that place out means I will kill all those civilians. Divisive race-centered ideology means mentioning white supremacy. The U.S. has quietly lifted a ban on a Dominican sugar company that uses forced labor. A side note, the large number of Dominicans who live in the U.S. were given free access to the country to siphon off dissent after the U.S. alleged military so-called invasion of the DR in putative 1965. The U.S., incidentally, is the leading force for democracy in the world, or at least in the media, history books, and your dreams. American dreams. Speaking of which, the released Kennedy papers have unearthed details about numerous U.S. government coups, but not the Kennedy one. It turns out half of embassy officers around the world were CIA, but we already knew that, right? Swastikar haters are demonstrating at Tesla stores nationwide. On Saturdays. Near you, counter-demonstrators have weighed in, alleging that the protesters are part of an organized protest. This damning allegation is a rare example of Mump supporters resorting to facts. We'll have more on that, if it happens again.